doing it right? Can y'all hear me? Trying to make sure I fix myself up, get it all together. Can y'all hear me? Okay, maybe I should tag some friends. I don't know how this goes. I'm trying to figure this out. People might be sleepy by this hour. I get it. I had to do this earlier. This is a handy tool. That's what people want. My phone would die on me. Maybe this is the wrong time to do it. Yeah, my phone's trying to die on me. Off. Thank you. Good girl, thank you. Don't do it again. I'm gonna do this. Oh well, even if nobody joins, I gotta do this, whether I feel like it or not. I'm sorry if I'm tagging everyone and it seems a little spammy. I apologize. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Looks like my cord is trying to, my phone is trying to die. And my hair wants to fall. Yay, me. Alright, so even if nobody else joins, that's okay. I'm hoping y'all can hear me. Maybe I'll just turn everything up just in case. I'm calling you all on here, really asking more so for you all to just lend me your ear more than anything. Oh my goodness, I should have wore some pasties or something. Excuse me. I have to put my robe on. Oh man, it wants to be nice. Hi people, how are you? Okay. I have to black on my screen. Hold on, y'all. I gotta fix something here. Apparently all of a sudden my phone wants to die. Don't like me right now. It don't like me. Hold up. Why the phone gotta do that though? Like all of a sudden and stuff. Everything was goody up until this point. Just happening. Everything. That was actually my alarm so I can get started. Like, should I wear it up, down, around the corner? I am currently working on weight loss. So I'm not too comfortable in this body, but I'm figuring it out. I almost threw my robe. Like, I don't need her. Like, baby, I need you. I need you. Anyways, I'm up late, playing too much as usual. But no, honestly, I needed to, I don't know how to present this information, but I feel like it needs to be presented. I usually don't share a lot of my personal life with anyone, but I have been really undergoing some major things. There's been some underhanded activities that have gone on against me for quite some time. You know, I thought it would have stopped. I was hoping it would resolve itself, but it has not. Could you just hold on, please, ladies and gents? Just hold on. I got you. Let me leave it right here. Baby girl, open up. It's all right. Go, please. Go, please. Go ahead, baby. She's coming. Wait till I get started. That's not nice. I don't like that. Go with your sister, baby. My apologetics. And then, I actually let myself sit on the thing. So I'm not sitting directly on the chair. Okay, so this is why I don't do lives, because I have children and things happen. Either way, so I know a lot of people have, I don't know how to open this up. I've practiced this. I put it on paper. I have overwhelmed myself beyond measure, just trying to really brainstorm how I would present this information. And I cannot begin to tell you, like, it's been ongoing. This is not a past matter. This is an ongoing matter, and it just has not stopped. I hate to present myself as some type of victim, yet I have to say there has been some victimization, and I was hoping by now, man, I was really, really hoping by now that it would have been resolved. So I have to begin with the past, you know, in order to be able to tell my story and really make it make sense. And I'm going to have to include some pretty sensitive information. I've been trying to do this the right way, or what I thought was the right way, the peaceful way, and I just can't do this no more. I feel very unsafe in my own home. I have been stalked, gang stalked, harassed, threatened. Rape has also been a story in this story, should I say, a matter in this story. It's been hell. It's been hell, and I try to keep it to myself. I do try to, you know, keep that happy-go-lucky demeanor. I mean, that's just really me being me, but really hiding the pain behind the scenes and pretending like it doesn't hurt as bad as it does, and feeling very alone, very secluded indeed, as I realize that there's been more of a double betrayal than anything. And then comes the inclusion of the others that have gathered on the Me Too train against me. I call it the Me Too train, just because I'm me. But that's just a little summary. And actually, I haven't even really gotten to the details of the matter. So I have to begin with who is the main source of this victimization, where it all began, and it's going to have to include, sadly, my own family. My own family is included in this. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm really, I got the mic on, I got the fan on too, so I'm hoping that the motor of the fan doesn't overcome or drown out the sound quality. Can someone let me know if they can hear me, if you will? Okay, I don't see anybody saying anything. I don't know. I'm hoping y'all can hear me and I'm not just mouthing, you know, words. I know the last live that I did, it was, I used the same mic with some mishaps. So if y'all could hear it back then I'm sure, hopefully you can hear it this time. Yeah, if y'all can pop in and say something to me, let me know that the sound quality is good or isn't. Either way, so the way I'm going to probably unravel this story, it's going to be a long one. Just to lighten up the moments, of course, I'm going to be, you know, smiling, laughing. So, just, you know, just being me. And, yet, you know, I'm hoping that you all can sort of come along with me while I tell this story, because it took a lot of courage to even begin to share such personal personal information. And I'm honestly asking for some type of support from those of you that do deem me as, you know, a good Facebook friend of sorts. Can you hear me? Can all of you hear me? So I'm not. Okay, I see a lot of people asking me to bring them on the video. I could probably do that as I get into the video. I want to at least really get started with telling like the details of what I came on here for in the first place, so I don't get too off subject here. Thank you all for your request, however. Can I ask you all to hold on just one more time, please? I need to go get my little ones. Be right back. Don't leave me, y'all. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Hold on. Is you with me? Is you with me? Hello, peoples. Oh, all right. Y'all still here? Cool. Anyways, so I just need to go check on my little ones. They're supposed to be in the bed, and right now, one is just going potty. Of course, I ain't got no potty. Never mind. Anyways, my babies are old enough; they don't need no potty, but that's what I call it. Anyways, okay, so, I have been. I'm trying to figure out where do I start. Come on, Shani. Come on, get it together. Okay, so. My whole point for doing this video is because there are rumors that I'm very aware of. Very, very aware of. And a lot of the followers on my page, I'm very aware, have come through these rumors, right? So for all of you that joined the Me Too train without actually knowing me, and, you know, just only knowing of me, you know, and thinking to kind of add on to the heat of what was already going on, less respect for you. But for those of you who have heard these rumors and have at least tried to follow me to find out, you know, if they were true, much respect to you. Because that's what I would have done. Rather than joining that Me Too train and, you know, deciding to believe whatever. Because people can lie all day long. And if they don't have the proof to show, you know, how do you agree? How do you agree with what was said? So now I have to make it known where this all began, right? I love you too, cousin. I have to make this known where this all began, because I can't say that it just began. The two main characters are my children's father and my oldest sister. So it did not just begin with my children's father. These offenses, in particular, yes, but the true issue has been with my oldest sister, who has shown me several times that she had the ability to sabotage me, to manipulate me, to try to control my life, to the point of even controlling my relationships and my decisions to a T. Right? It would sound like someone that would care about you. That's your oldest sis. She's supposed to care about you. Lovely, right? Sounds good. However, when I really, really think about the details of where these rumors began and going, kind of following these rumors back to the details of our childhood, it gives me an insight on, basically, I feel like I should have known that she was capable of betraying me, if that makes sense. So this ongoing matter, I know a lot of females usually, not just females, I'm sorry, a lot of those that consider themselves as, victims, or that have gone through victimization, they usually hide behind these social media groups and things like that, looking for support through these groups. And I feel like these support groups are not as helpful as just simply telling your truth. Now, does that mean that I don't fear retaliation? Heck yeah. I have been quiet so long because I fear the retaliation that will possibly come my way from me telling my truth. Once I really unravel this story, it'll help you to understand, hopefully, why I don't even feel safe in my own home. I had to move on the other side of the state to get away from this situation because it got so bad, and yet it was kept quiet while the betrayal took full effect. Leaving behind two of my children who were underhandedly given to my children's father through custody. I was fighting for shared custody before this betrayal took place. And it's sad because my children wonder, why did I leave and why won't I return? And these are babies. I can't tell them what their father did in detail. So it leaves all the weight on me, if that makes sense. I tried to keep the peace with him. I have text message after text message, call after call that showed that I tried the peaceful method to co-parent effectively with him. Yet, it didn't work. It did not work. Not only did it not work, but then he began to gather others together to harass me. And one in particular, I kept telling her it was not that deep. I swear it's something different than what you think you're coming at me for. And yet she continued to come at me, to taunt me because she and my children's father have custody of my children. Well, she doesn't, but he does. And I'm telling her, you don't know where it all began. So this is what I mean by less respect for the Me Too trainers, okay? The ones that just got on the Me Too train without understanding the details. And more respect for those that have gathered here to learn of my character and to find out if it adds up with what was said. There's some nasty things that have been said about me. My name has been fully defamed, and it's not fair. And I've gone to the courts. I know that's like the main thing right there. Most people would say, hey, why didn't you go to the law? I never went to the police. I did try to run to safety, and I did go to the courts. I asked myself, too, why didn't I go to the police? And I believe it was simply running for safety for me that was more important. I was thinking, I'll tell the story. I think it's best to just start from the top, like I said. So yes, I got you all here pretty late. I know that you all probably won't be able to stay throughout the whole story. I accept that. And I thank you for joining, for the time that you could and can. But I think it's still time for me to get this story out. I've been really procrastinating on it for a while, just thinking what is going to happen once I put it out here. The retaliation that has come at me every time that I try to fight for custody of my children. And, if I was being retaliated against for that, imagine what happens once I tell my truth. So yes, I am very fearful of what could happen, and I don't mean to walk in fear, but I'm being honest. I feel very fearful. Okay, so I feel like I'm talking a million miles and not getting into the story. So I'm going to begin with the day that I met my children's father. I don't want to get too deep into it and keep having to get up. So when I get back from settling my babies, then I should be able to tell you the details. Hold on, please. So sorry. I got you, babes. Okay. Okay, baby. Night. All right, so I said I was gonna get into the meat and potatoes of the details. Whew. I hope I'm doing this right. Yeah, I really do. I just don't want to hide this truth anymore, and that's just true. So the day that I met my children's father, I have to give you a little background on my sister. So we were raised very religiously, so I tried to understand her perspective. I really did. I guess I was considered more of the rebel of the family, in a sense. Can't believe I'm sharing this type of personal information, but it's nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. Either way, my sister, she would often use things like she would how do I put this? She would often say things like she was sick, and it would be so dire. She would say that it was unto death, right? Like basically she was so sick that she could die very soon if she didn't have the type of help. You know, she had nobody to help her. And what I noticed around the time that I met my children's father, well, before I met my children's father that day, I was beginning to see my sister for who she truly was. Very manipulative, very controlling. And whenever she felt like she wasn't winning an argument, she would go and run and create rumors throughout the family about me. As well as yell to win the argument, you know? So I have to give you more details on her. I'll double back and I'll talk about her in a little bit, but I really want to place on the table what happened with my children's father. So I'm gonna try to get up to that point. Okay, so I will be including me as well. There are some faults about me as well. I actually took the blame for the entire beginning of what took place with my children's father and I. So there is no like what do I say? No blame game here, you know? This is just the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I hope that I'm actually helping someone while I'm sharing my hurts and my experiences more than anything. Yeah, so she would wait. This is her pattern, right? So this was the third time she had done this. I may have to even go back to where my mom started, okay? Oh, so I'm trying not to go too deep, too fast, right? But I am going to have to include some more details as the story goes on. Either way, her pattern was she would wait until I started my life, until I was just getting started in life and, you know, doing good, right? Doing good, getting ready to advance to another level in life. And, you know, for instance, I had just gotten a full-time position, and I was working with a church, a church-going female, a church sister, that attended a church that she introduced me to, that my sister introduced me to. And I thought I was doing the right thing, right? Because like I said, I was known as the rebel of the family. So, you know, basically, me and religion just didn't get along. Let's just say that, right? Although I was raised religiously. And so for me, so I was, I'm sorry, sometimes I get lost in the sauce a little bit while I'm thinking and trying to remember. But yes, getting back to what I was saying. So my sister's pattern was to wait until I had my new beginnings and then call me in and make it all about, oh, I need help, I'm sick, it's dire. She was complaining that her husband wasn't there to help her. A lot of detail here, very sensitive information, but I'm being honest. And so I came running. I stopped everything. I was working a part-time job in a state that so I was out of state at the time, and I was getting ready to get my first apartment. The sister from the church was my boss on and off the job. I finally convinced my boss to let me work with her off the job, as she had her own little cleaning business. And I mean, all of this time and effort that I put into my new beginnings and helping my boss, and I had to end all of it through a family emergency, right? That's what I said. I resigned from my position, just having received the full-time, excuse me, promotion and everything. And yeah, I came running. I used my money to get from that state to where we were living prior to. And you hear as I tell, I'm going to section out a segment just for her side of the story, or just for her part of the story. Excuse me, so you'll understand what I was doing prior to, or what happened prior to. But what she would do is she would get me to her home, right? And she knew, because I just ended all of my new beginnings and what I was getting ready to get started, all I needed was a place to stay if I was going to come help you, right? This was the third time she had done this. So I caught on by this time, but I put in my time either way, right? So I came, and what she did was flip the script. She began to act as if she was helping me. So she began to tell the family, oh, I needed somewhere to stay, so she's helping me. Mind you, I came to help her, yet now you're helping me. Okay, I'll let you have it. Fine. So I gave her 3 whole months. I mean, miserable months. Okay, I was miserable, as this woman is very controlling. Everything was about her. But guess what? Remember, I came to help her with her sickness? Why wasn't she allowing me to help her with her sickness, but had me helping her build a business instead? Deception. We never talked about this. So you wasted my time, right? Not only that, remember, I worked off the job. So I finally got my boss to rely on, or not rely, but to trust my reliability. And she told me, my sister says, oh no, you got to quit that job too. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? So not only did you want me to end my new beginnings, but you wanted to wipe out any source of support that I had and any income that I had coming in, so I could fully depend on you. See, it didn't just start with my children's father. There's already been a virus that I should have put in her place years ago, but I never did, because she was my oldest sister, right? Not only was she my oldest sister, but she was my mother figure. She told me one day when I was younger, she looked me in the eyes and she said, sis, you don't need any friends. You don't need any family, right? I was isolated from family, that's cousins, and, I didn't have a childhood, because of this. And I'm thinking, I was doing the right thing by listening. So I was isolated in this situation, right? Not only throughout life or throughout my childhood, but in this situation, here it is. She's doing the same thing. Every time it looks like I'm about to gain just a little bit of independence, right? It took me a while to really see it. But at this time, I was beginning to see it. So I said, sis, by the end of my 3 months, I was ready to go head out because she had already complained about how her children's father, or what's her children's father? At this time, no, I think it was, he was her husband. So they did eventually get married. That was awesome, right? And I was truly happy for them. But I like I said, when I tell the story, you'll understand where some underhanded things took place. Okay? Some lies, some rumors began. So, where was I coming in at? Yeah, so she told me I had to quit the job, stop working off the job or with my boss, with her business on the side. And here I am showing unreliability at this time, losing my sense of support, right? And telling this sister, this boss of mine, I cannot work with her, right? So now I have no income. I have to fully depend on this woman. I'm living in her house. I came to help her. But apparently she wanted me to help her in another way that we never even spoke of. So then I said, okay, excuse me, once 3 months was done, I believe it was around June, July-ish. Yeah, about July of 2010. I remember it clear as day. Prior to, she had sabotaged 2 of my relationships, right? I never got to see what would happen if it went the long haul. What I didn't realize is that she would cause a breakup between us and then go behind my back and ensure that that breakup was continuous, right? Sneaky. And this is a church-going woman. This is a church-going woman, right? Anyways, so moving on. I said, okay, sis, since you're complaining, no one, has any income, blankety blank. I think it's time that I get started again, right? I get started on my income because at this time, I still had an out-of-state ID. All of my information was out of state. So I needed to get reestablished, if that made sense. And since you're complaining that no one's bringing in any income, I will do it. I will be the one. Tell me why she went off on me. Just went off on me, okay? No, I said I wanted 6 months. You talking about 3? Wait, we never spoke about the duration of the time that I should be here. We didn't speak about that. We didn't speak about a lot of things that you threw at me. But I toughed it out, and I did the best I could. And now I'm miserable as I don't know what. And I think it's time for me to get out here and go figure out my life. Kind of pick up the pieces from where I left off, if you don't mind. Didn't want that. So she and I had an argument. I'm not an arguer. Yet for some reason, when it came to this woman, whoo, I tell you, she ticks a nerve that's just like, I'm not shutting up. I'm going to say what I need to say, right? And so what she would do, I mentioned this before, she would yell over me to get her. She knew once the argument got too heated. I was the type of person, and I am the type of person, I don't know why I'm that way, but I get calm in chaos. So for me, whenever she raised her voice above a certain level, and I realized that my nieces, I have 4 nieces by her, were beginning to get a little startled. I didn't want to look like I knew it was going to fall back on me as if I was the trouble of the, situation. Like I was the troublemaker. So I quieted down. I let her get her point across. And I shut up. Right? This is how arguments would go between us. My voice meant absolutely nothing. And so the higher her voice went, the more chaotic the scene became, I went lower, right? And then eventually I shut down. She knew this about me. So basically she not only won the argument, but she got to tell the family whatever she wanted to tell about me. I'm thinking, this is my sister. She ain't, she gonna keep it light. She ain't gonna say too much. Like, it's not like nothing really happened, right? Nothing really happened. I just didn't want to give you 6 months of my time. Like, don't I have a choice in this? Like, I think. And so, I was confused that day as to why she was so upset with me for not wanting to give her this 6 months that we magically just came up with. What is this about? So I said, sis, I'm going to leave anyway, right? So although I shut up and I calmed down, I left. I left because I still had a lot to say that I knew I was not going to be able to put on that table that day. So I said, okay, let me go take a walk, right? Let me take and do. At this point, I was a grown woman. Like, I don't need to stay with you. I want my own place. I want my own new beginnings, right? So I'm going to go out and I'm going to figure it out. That day, like I said, we were raised religiously, so I fasted, right? I called myself fasting, and I started getting really dizzy and lightheaded. And so I decided to tell her, I called her that day, right? And I said, sis, if no other connection that we had, right? Even though we clashed as sisters, I thought we were good on the religious level, if that makes sense. So I said, sis, I know you're upset, but I really needed some insight on what I should do because I'm feeling, I don't feel good, and I know I'm not supposed to tell you that I'm fasting, because that's what we believed, I think it says that in I call it the Book of Wisdom. It's the Bible. But yeah, I said I don't really feel good. And, do you have any, what do you do? Because she was a good faster. I mean, she would fast for weeks at a time and things like that. And I love that about her. She was really someone I really looked up to. And so when I was asking her for this insight, I didn't think she was going to be petty. She told me, you're on your own. Oh, I got things to do. I'm helping you. What did she say? I'm doing something. So basically, she hung up on me. And I said, cool. So now I'm out here. Okay, we is out here. It was hot too. It's like July. And excuse me. I'm like, I need to go grab something to eat because we're not going to make it through this fast. So I broke the fast that day, and I felt like I shouldn't do it because, like I said, religiously, when I say we were brought up religiously, I mean strict religion, okay? Like strict, baby. Pentecostal style, I think. I think that might add up to what I think. Our denomination was how do you say it? Apostolic. apostolic faith, holiness, that sort of thing, you know. Once again, me and religion, we ain't get along all like that, right? But I was trying. I was out there trying. And so I broke my fast that day. And I really felt condemned in doing so. So I'm praying the whole time. I'm like, oh my, what is going on over here? And so I'm like praying the whole time. I'm upset with myself, really guilting myself, right? Like, oh my goodness, you were supposed to hang in there, sis. The way my sister taught me how to fast was a whole, 24 hours? 24, from sun up to sundown, right? Excuse me. And the church we followed was Pastor Gino Jennings. So he's pretty widely known now. His headquarters is in Philadelphia. So he was a good teacher, you know. I would watch him with her, and yeah, I believe he spoke on the sun up to sundown fast. So I really felt bad because I did not do that sun up to sundown fast that day. And so I grabbed a little something to eat, try not to do too much. And I figured, you know what, that day I'm going to go ahead and, because I'm not feeling well, and I haven't, like, I was off and on not feeling too well anyway, living there with her, or while living there with her, I decided, you know what, maybe I can go to a walk-in clinic, right? I know I got a lot of out-of-state information at this time. You know, nobody's probably going to accept my information, but I'm going to see. Maybe a walk-in clinic, you know, might accept me. I don't know why I thought like that. Like, still going to need an ID, ma'am. But anyways, so what was I saying? Okay, so I go ahead and in Norristown, I am gonna name, like I said, some very sensitive information. I might even do some name drops. At this point, I'm a little bold because I need this to stop. I need what has transpired to stop. You know, it's been going on way too long. Just way too long. Okay, this is 10 years and some change in the making. You know, So, oh, and just a quick detail, right? So I did go to the courts, and I did, you know, all of that good stuff. And I've been ignored by the courts. I have been denied by the courts. I have been overlooked by the courts. And I have been delayed by the courts. So we're going to leave that right there, right? And hopefully we can go into more detail on that. So this is what I mean by some underhanded stuff is going on here. Okay, and this is Montgomery County Courthouse. For some reason, I kept telling myself, maybe I didn't say enough. You know, maybe I didn't do enough. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the story. Man, Shani, remember. What were you talking about? Okay, so, yeah, so immigrant, okay, so, in, Norristown, on Main Street, there was a walk-in clinic, like, on the, all my shadows are showing. Honestly, I scared myself a little bit, I'm sorry, y'all know I'm a goofball. I was like, oh my goodness, they're coming to get me. Never mind. So it was a walk-in clinic, right? Now, I was looking for the walk-in clinic, but for some reason it was empty. So I was like, oh man, a lot changed in the little time that I was in, out of state. This is amazing. And so the place was not there anymore. So I began to ask someone that was just passing by. I'm like, okay, well, let me go talk to, somebody. I don't know, somebody. And it just so happened to be someone that had some resources. And it was like, well, I don't know what this place is, but they gave me some other resources. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. And then when I turned back around, right, so I'm facing this way. Okay, how do I put it? Okay, so the building is this way, the way I'm facing, right? The person passing by is coming from my right. And I turn around towards the main street, right? Trying to see if I can, oh, no, I didn't even turn around right away. Before he became my children's father, of course, my children's father, he comes up behind me. Excuse me, he must have came from across the street or what have you. But he came out of nowhere in my mind, right? So it was like, what is going on? My fan or something? Excuse me. It's like somebody don't want me to speak. Speak, girl, speak. Keep speaking. I might need a drink or two. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's like dang, what was I saying? Yeah, so it was like he came out of nowhere. And so I'm like, okay, all right. So he says, oh, you looking for this place right here? I mean, total gentleman, right? You looking for this place right here? They moved up the street. That day, remember, I needed a walk. I needed to get out the house and think it through, okay? I needed that good walk. So I asked him, I said, is it walking distance? And he said, it could be, but, I wouldn't recommend it. I said, I took the could be, right? And I said, well, shoot, I think I'm going to walk it. I said, thank you so much, sir. It is walking distance, right? He said, it could be. That's all I needed to hear. I was ill, right? Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Boom. Bye. It's nothing but hills in Norristown. I was walking up the hill and I heard somebody like yelling in the background, but I'm thinking, it's just regular workers probably communicating across the street to one another. Right? So I came to, I came to this entrance of like a bank parking lot, right? And a car was pulling out. And it was a white Volvo. So a car was pulling out. A lady, she was taller, she was probably bigger than me. She bigger than what I am now? Yeah, I think she was a little bigger than I am now. And I was only between 140, about 140 pounds back then. So I just remember the car was coming out, and she was coming around the car this way. I was going around this way, and I was getting ready to go ahead and head straight up the hill. Right? Continue to up the hill. You said it was walking distance. We gonna walk it. We gonna figure this out because I need to get these thoughts out. And so, I'm a fast walker also. So, like, it didn't matter to me. And so, I was getting ready to go ahead and continue up the hill. And who just so happened to be in that car? But the guy I just met that day, my children's father, right? And so, he not yells, but he says to me, like, I was literally like just coming around his car, so he didn't have to yell. He was like, are you sure you want to walk? And I turned around and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And he's like, it could be, it could be a while. It might not be walking distance. I was like, no, I'm okay. So he insisted, on giving me a ride like 3 times. right? Because I was just on, no, I'm good. No, it's okay. I'm all right. No, I could really walk it. Like, I'm good. And then finally, when I'm like, man, this man's insisting, maybe this walk ain't that much. You know, like, maybe this is not going to be much of a walk. And so, here's where my naivete probably kicked in at this point. I want to say that I probably just should have kept on walking, but I didn't. I decided to go ahead and take the ride, right? He was a total gentleman. I mean, a total gentleman, right? I tried to get in the back seat, and he must have done laundry that day or something, so he had bags in the back of his car, and he's like, you know, you can get in the front. And I was like, okay, yeah, that part. And so I sat down in the passenger seat, and I was a little nervous, but I'm like, you know, it's just right up the street, right? It's just right up the street. That's what I'm telling myself, like, it's good. So I let down my guard eventually, and he did what he said he was gonna do. You know, we had small convo in the car, and I can't remember when we exchanged numbers. He came off as a businessman, so I didn't see anything wrong with exchanging numbers. Excuse me. I think he was telling me about a female who, remember, I'm going right off of memory, y'all, so excuse me if I'm telling a story that y'all like, get to the point. No, I'm telling every detail because that's how I tell a story. So here we are. So yeah, he must have been telling a story, I think, about this female who he had to take to court because of something that she did or some stuff. And then he told me that's how he was able to fit in what he does for a living, right? So he was like just kind of volunteering some information, and I'm sitting back listening. Excuse me. Usually takes me a while to open up to like a full conversation with you anyway. So yeah, like at this point I'm like I'm listening, and when we get out the car, you know, he says, here's your stop. He gets out and he passes me a business card. I can't remember. I think did he say text me? Did he say text me? That's how we exchange numbers. Okay, he said text me. He said text me and I can give you the information, because I think I told him my brother-in-law was also in the same field he was in, right? And so I was like, you know, I thought nothing of it. You know, very innocent conversation. It wasn't that deep. Hey, DJ Ignite. Yeah, so, can everybody hear me well? Nobody answered me. I'm hoping everything's good. Anyways, yeah, so like I said, a total gentleman. He dropped me off, you know, gave me that business card. He told me to text him so he can give me some information or something like that for my brother-in-law. It was something like that, like, you know what I mean, just straight business, all business. And so when I text him my phone number, thinking nothing of it. Like I said, I was in line in this other location, walk-in clinic is where I was at, right? Mind you, I wasn't feeling that well, so you know. So yeah, I was in this walk-in clinic, and it was like, it had to be like 5 people in front of me. Listen, y'all gotta hear this story. Like, it's funny as hell to me. And so 5 people, right? And so it had to have been like a whole Mexican family, and I was just seeing like a lot of people in front of me, right? So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be here for a while. So when he texts me back, He didn't text me anything about my brother-in-law or anything like that. He said, and I quote, if I can remember the words, he said, okay, when you're done, what did he say? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the word for word, because if I'm gonna tell the truth, I'm gonna tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And so he said, why don't we go and get a bite to eat? Okay, so I think he said, when you're finished, why don't we go and get a bite to eat? So I remember texting back, oh, that sounds great. However, it looks like I'm a little busy. I'm going to be a little busier than I thought today. Something like that, right? I thought I was going to be able to go quote for quote, but I guess I don't remember. So many years ago. But yeah, it was something on the order of that. I just remember. So I think from that point, I think he said okay. I think he said K. Yeah, I think he used to just, yeah. So it was like K, and all of a sudden, remember 5 families in front of me. Over 5 people, okay, in a family. And I'm like, the whole darn thing cleared out, and I was at the front of the line all of a sudden. And I'm like, this is interesting. and so I'm at the front of the line. Sadly, they turned me down, right? Because you have an out-of-state ID now. Okay, there's really nothing we can do about it. So they gave me some resources, told me where to go, to start getting my stuff together and, all that good stuff. And I was like, thank you. And now I'm just sitting here looking silly, right? Because the whole day, I think when I left out of the house, it must have been around like 2:33-ish, somewhere around. I was walking for a little bit. Like I was taking a nice long walk. I didn't care, baby. I needed it. And so maybe it was around 3. Let's give it about 3, right? Maybe 3:30-ish. And so by this point, yeah, I think it was around 3:30-ish, because the place, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think when I started out, it was about 3:30-ish, yeah, because the place was getting ready to close. Yeah, so it cleared out real quick. They turned me down real quick. And I remember calling my sister. I was looking at my phone like, I wonder, did she call me back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to give her a call real quick. And I got banged on. Okay. One more time, y'all. One more time. And so I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. Because we out here. We is out here, okay? I don't know what to do with the rest of my day. And so I was like, all right, maybe I just need to go ahead and I wasn't gonna go eat again. I wasn't gonna go. It was nowhere I could go. I had no valid ID in this state at this time, right? So I was like, all right, well, she told me everything was online. Everything was closing at this time around, like, it had been like 3:30, 3:45, maybe somewhere around like 4:04. And so things was like starting to shut down. I'm standing out there looking real silly. I'm like, my sister ain't calling me back. I don't know what kind of hell I'm going. You're like, I got a long walk back. Like, you know what? Let me take him up on that offer. Maybe I just need to just go out and just, blow off some steam a little bit. Not even blow off some steam, but just, just a different atmosphere, So I said, on second thought, I texted him back. I said, on second thought, looks like I am available in this what did I say? Look like I am available for now, something like that. And he said, all right, I'll be right there. And I knew at this point, basically, he could be fitting me in his schedule if he got things to do, blankety blank. You know, I was respectful of that. I understood that. Mind you, now I probably should have went and just walked back home. I probably should have, but I didn't know what I was walking into, because this was not the first time that my sister had pulled this. And I was always facing homelessness after she would pull her stunts. You know what I mean? Like she would leave me out in the cold, and I would have to restart my life time and time again. So I was not ready for that day. I was just like, I am stressed beyond measure. I just gave this woman 3 months of my time. She wants 6. Listen, I need to breathe. I need to breathe. I think a nice date might be okay, right? Now, mind you, he said, go grab a bite to eat, right? Maybe I kept saying to myself, I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump too far ahead. So I gotta tell you how this all went. And so remember, he said, you know, he'll be right there. So we decided on a meetup place and blank, blank, blank. While I'm waiting for him, I'm talking to my boss on the phone, right? And I will always encourage her and just tell her, you know, she was saying how she missed, you know, us working together and blankety blank. And at this point, I'm like, I could really pick up a job with her again. You know what I mean? I could really because it's clear that this is, you know, my sister's on some other stuff. But before I could finish the conversation, he pulled up. Excuse me, I burped. Before I could finish the conversation, he pulled up. And so I'm excuse me, I'm getting in the, you know, car, and I'm still on the phone with her. I'm looking at the way he's looking at me while I'm smiling and happy-go-lucky. It's like this. Have you ever seen somebody look at you like, if you're not smiling with me, you don't belong smiling kind of look, you know? And I noticed it, but I'm thinking nothing of it. It is what it is. It's cool. But it's the same smile my sister would give me, you know? If you're not having fun with me, then you don't belong having fun, you know? And so I got off the phone because I thought it was really rude, you know, to get in his car and, you know, probably be on the phone still. So I started filling him in on the details. I'm like, yeah, that's my boss. You know, I used to work on and off the job and blankety blank. And, oh, man, she's so beautiful. And, I mean, you know, such a beautiful soul and da-da-da-da and blank, 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 blank. And, you know, just, you know, brighten our day up. Why not? You know, talking great about someone else. And like I said, that look on his face was like, all right, cool. So I'm like, okay, I ain't really have to fill you in with those details, but here we are. So yeah, we got into small combo again, and I think this is where I went wrong again, right? So I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm really gonna tell you a lot about where I see I went wrong, because I probably should have met him wherever we were going to go eat, right? But I got back in his car, you know, just being my carefree self, I should say that, right? And thinking nothing of it. So he goes and picks up his daughter. He did not tell me he had children until he was getting ready to pull up to the school. And so we switched the conversation to his children. And I said, oh, okay, so how does your children, you know, how are your children around you? And I just remember him saying, my children love me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to meeting this baby girl, you know what I mean? And he goes and picks her up from school. And once she gets in the car, she's looking weirded out. I don't want her to feel awkward because a female's in his car. And, you know, it's probably not the usual. So, you know, I'm trying to, you know, how was your day? Okay. What subject do you like? You know, the little, you know, kitty conversation. And I'm not even paying attention to where this man is driving, right? He drives up to his home. And so I did not see, like, the route that he took, nothing. I'm so busy. Like, I'm in a front seat passenger and she's in the back, and I'm like talking to her the whole, time, and I'm like, conversating with him, but I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings at all. And so, this is the gullible me, I know. Or I don't want to say gullible, but, like I said, carefree. And so, so I go and, I turn around, I face front as he stops, and he's in front of his home. And so she gets out the car, he gets out the car, and, I'm like, I can't remember if I just came right in this time. No. He said you can come in. He held the door open, and she held the door open. So yeah, she was like, "Are you coming in?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess so." So I stood like at the door, right, while he went in the kitchen, and so did she. And she started, talking to me and telling me she wanted to show me something. So I walks in the kitchen with her, and she's like showing me her homework and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, that's what you love to do, da 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 blank." And so he feeds her some leftover spaghetti or something like that on a paper plate. He then puts spaghetti on a paper plate for me. And I'm like, "Oh no, I don't, it's okay, I'm okay, thank you." At this point, I'm like, I don't think I should be here. This man just like made a paper plate of spaghetti, like just, Anyways, I'm sorry. This is really my thoughts. I'm just being honest. These were my thoughts, and so I'm like, I guess it was kind of nice, but no, that we were supposed to have been going out. So let me see where this goes. Like, why would he feed me spaghetti if we were supposed to be going out? And so yeah, he feeds her. She eats, and he and I had a small convo while she's, talking. While she's eating. And, like, I'm kind of standoffish. Like I said, I'm standing at the door. I'm, like, standing at the wall. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. And, he goes and he, takes her. I think she went upstairs to change her clothes. Excuse me. Went upstairs to change her clothes, or did she change her clothes or her backpack or something like that? Yeah, I think she went upstairs to change her clothes, and then came back downstairs, and he went and they got back in a car. They were getting back in a car. Now here it is. I should have asked questions. I should have, been, but I'm just like playing it by ear, just watching, going along with it. I'm like, okay, well, he's handling his daughter. Let him handle his daughter. And so at this time I didn't have any children. I didn't have, but yeah, so they get back in the car, I get back in the car, and he drops her off to her mom's house, which was not that far from where we just came from. So I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm thinking, he said we were going to go out to eat, right? He I think I asked him like where we were going to eat. So he did tell me. He did give me a location. And so I was like, okay. Mind you, I was just getting back to town. Apparently, whenever I was there in Norristown, I was always just about family. I was not really well traveled at this point, right? Yeah, not in Norristown. So so I'm once again, he drops her off and he gets back in the car, and I go ahead and I think she's the only, she got out the car. Yeah, she get out the car, he watches her go in the house, and that was it. And then he pulls off, he told me the location we were going to. and then says he's going back home. Well, no, he didn't even tell me. He waited till he pulled up to his house to tell me that he needed to run inside really quick and grab something. And so, all right, good night, cuz I know it's pretty late. Yeah, so he says he has to run inside to grab something. And so he dang, my mind just went again. Yeah, so I stays in the car, right, at this point, because I'm like, you know, he already handled his daughter, you know what I mean? I probably shouldn't have been there in the first place, walking in there. So I stays in the car. He had turned the car off. I'm like, if you need to go grab something, you know, like, it shouldn't take too long. I'm sitting in the car. But he holds the door open, like, I'm not gonna bite. And I'm like, yeah, I feel real silly right now, like. So, I was like, okay. So, I did the same thing I did before. I told him I was gonna sit in the car, and then that's when he said, yeah, he said he's not gonna bite, and then that's when I got out the car, because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here, you know, hot either. So I was like, all right, cool. So I goes back in, and he goes downstairs this time. So at this point, you know, I'm upstairs by myself. I'm good. I'm like, okay. He seems like a nice gentleman. You know, I'm telling myself, calm down. You ain't got to worry about nothing. He's going to get what he said he's going to get. He's going to come back up, right? I guess at this point, I didn't know anything about spirituality. So I guess my intuition was really trying to scream at me and tell me, baby girl, but just And I didn't know that was my intuition. You know, I guess I thought it was the devil or something. You know, religion will have you screwed up in the head, okay? Yeah, so I kept feeling like he's not going to do what he said he's going to do. Like, I shouldn't be here. You know, like, but I did not pay attention. I did not pay attention to where we were going the first time, right? And then the second time when he drove up again, I was paying attention to some landmarks, but I didn't know he was going to drive back into his driveway. I didn't know that that's what he was aiming for. So I'm at this point like, okay, well, you know, I'm here now. He said he's going to grab something. So I think he started talking to me from like the bottom of the stairs. I later found out that was his finished basement, but it was so he's talking to me from the bottom of the stairs, excuse me. And I can't hear him while I'm standing in the living room. So I moved to the kitchen, and you know, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, blank blank blank, da da da. And it was something that I said in a conversation earlier that was like really, really like a passion for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking about something that was really exciting for me. It might have had something to do with that business card. Anyways, so I'm sorry, y'all. Ugh. A part of me is like, I can't believe it. You doing this for real? Yep. So I gotta stall from time to time. But yeah. So anyways, so I get to the kitchen, and you know, I'm talking to him, blah blah blah. The conversation, you know, it's getting good. It's going, you know, he's not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. You know, it feels good. But he is down there for quite some time. So what is the deal? I'm like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And yet you're still downstairs. The time is going, and yet you're still downstairs. So at this point, I'm like, ooh, Shani, baby girl, you started out late. Yeah, yeah. So I'm feeling it at this point. You know, I'm definitely feeling like maybe I should think again. But I started talking to him, and the conversation was getting good. He came like halfway up the stairs, and I'm standing at the stairs, you know, as the conversation going on. Time is flying, and I don't even realize, like, probably just how much time is flying. You know what I mean? I was trying so hard not to say to him, like, yo, what are you getting? I was just trying not to be that person. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, to me, I'm like, he's an older guy. You know, he's responsible, right? Like, he knows what to do and what not to do. Oh, man, I never think like that again. But anyways, yeah, so here's where my silliness. That's why I said this whole portion of the first beginning, it was all on me. I blamed me, and me, okay? For my naivete, for my carefree nature. Yeah, so conversation goes on. He meets me at the top of the stairs. Well, he was like slowly coming up the stairs just a little bit. And at this point, I'm just like getting worried, because I'm like, time is going. We still ain't go nowhere. No, like, I'm fighting with myself. No, he's going to do his part. It's cool, right? It's cool. Like, Shani, calm down. Everything's good. He's going to do what he said. So, we eventually, like, okay, I'm trying to remember how it went. So he's coming up the stairs just a little bit, like tiny stairs, like maybe 1 or 2 stairs, so I can hear him, right? And then I started coming down the stairs just a little bit, like 2 stairs at a time, while we're having this conversation. This conversation is still going on upstairs, downstairs. He still ain't come upstairs. And so I'm like, I eventually make my way to like the halfway point of the stairs. I'm looking around. It's beautiful down there. When I say that, I mean beautiful. Okay, it was beautiful. The whole place was beautiful. The finished basement was the icing on the cake. Just beautiful. And so I'm looking, I'm like, man, this man got taste. Like, not only is he a gentleman, but he has taste. You know, this is awesome. And I'm standing here, you know, he's actually listening to what I was saying. So this is the conversation we were having, the one that I touched bases on earlier. So I'm like, wow, he's a good listener too. Cool. But we still ain't go out yet. So what's going on? And what is he getting? You know, like, did he forget? So I asked him a couple times, you know, real light, not, you know, direct. Yo, what's up? Like, how, like, what you trying to get? No, I'm not. 2 things about me, right? 2 things about me that probably won't make sense to a lot of people. 1, I do not disrespect men. I don't know why I'm that way, but it's something internal that does not allow me to disrespect a man. So that's 1. And 2, I do not fight families. So as you hear throughout the story, you know, you're going to hear how my family tried the hell out of me. But I do not fight family, right? And that was always my rule. Now today, it might be a little tweak with that, with the morals, because after a while, you get fed up. You get tired. You know, everybody has a breaking point. And I think after 10 years, baby, and some change, I think I'm right. I think I'm doing the right thing, or feeling it's okay for me to feel the way I feel. But anyways, getting back. So yeah, I eventually make my way to the halfway point. You know, so we're playing this game up and down the stairs kind of thing, if that makes sense. So then eventually he says, The same thing he said at the door. Like, why are you acting like that? I'm not going to bite. And I don't know. It was something about my pride back then. I didn't want to feel like I was being too kiddie. I'm already every bit of 20 years younger than this man. About 20 years younger than this man. So I was really feeling at this point, like, whenever he would say, I'm not going to bite, I'm like, yeah, I was being silly, right? Like, you know, maybe I am being a little foolish. And so, yeah. So I eventually, at some point, made my way down the stairs. And I did ask him, like, you know, what were you looking for? Just keeping it light, you know, like, what is it that you were looking for? And he said, oh, that's what he did. He would murmur. That's why I kept coming down the stairs, so I could hear him. Yeah, he would murmur. Like, he would like ask me a question, I would respond. He'd be like, I can't hear you, so he'd come up the stairs a little bit, right? And then I would ask him a question, or I would say something to him, and he would respond, but it was like he would get lower in tone. So I would keep coming down the stairs just so I could hear him. Like, not fully coming down the stairs, but we were just playing this game, I guess. So anyways, eventually I came all the way down. Like, I didn't want to feel scared. Like, I didn't want to feel like I was being, you know, a coward, I guess. So I'm like, you know, he's not going. Like, he been showing me, like, I don't know what made me do it, but I did. I went down there eventually, and I stayed close to the stairs while he was like across the room, and just in case I need to run. And so like I said, I was fighting with myself. I was, you know, the good side was like, girl, you shouldn't do that. Well, would that be the good side or the bad side? Shoot, look, it was a war between the good side and the bad side. That's what happened. Bad side was like, go ahead, girl, you good, you is good. And then the good side was like, you know, I don't think I would do that. So yeah, so I went downstairs, and like I said, I stayed near the stairs, and I'm, you know, just having a conversation. That's all we're doing, right? It ain't that deep. But what the hell is this man looking for? Right? Like, time is flying. But I'm not going to disrespect him. I'm just, you know, asking him light questions. Like, you know, what were you looking for? I think he sped past that question. That's what he did. He ain't never answered me. He started talking about what I was talking about, and he was like, you know what, I got a video. You know what? So he started acting like he was dusting something off. He acted like he was. At this point, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. So Shawnee, let's think this one through. Like, do we, you know? So I said, you know what? It's getting late. Maybe it's time for it. You know, maybe we could do this another time. And he was like, oh, there it is. I found it. So he pulls out the Zeitgeist movie. Anybody know about anything about Zeitgeist? Right? So it was something that my sister was showing me. It had something to do with like the, what's it called? The like conspiracy symbols and stuff like that. And so yeah, so that was what the conversation was about, you know. I had like different sketches of these symbols and stuff like that my sister had shown me. And so that's what I had been showing him. I forgot how we got on this conversation though. We were both weird, apparently, right? Or he was just going along with my weirdness. Either way. It was a weird conversation, you know. I'm like, if he can get with my weird, shoot, that's what's up. But yeah, so he what was I saying? Yeah, so he says, oh, I found it, right? So I'm like, Okay. Well, what happened to the, like, what time does the place close? I think he said 7. So we got time. I think it was 7, so we got time. Right. Was it 7 or 8? I can't remember what the place was. But apparently it was supposed to have been a late night, or late evening dinner. And at this point I'm thinking, should I even stick around? Like, is he gonna take me home? Is, like, at this point, like, I'm letting the good side kick in. Like, Shani, I think you messed up. I think you messed up, mama. So, mind you, he skipped right past the question when I asked him what was he looking for. And then he skipped past the question of what I was, when I said that I should, maybe we could do this another time. You know what I mean? Mind you, he drove me there, right? So my resources, I don't even know where the hell I was. He was secluded. When I say he was in a secluded place, even if I wanted to go ahead and do what I did at my sister's place, which is get out the house and walk, it was mostly roads. It was like backwoods. It was like, like he was wrapped around like he took some like some small streets and stuff like that. So it didn't look too weird. You know what I mean? The only reason why I know about the backwoods and all that good stuff, because at one point in this story, I did take that walk. I did. This is as we were more further into the relationship, though. I know you're like, what relationship? Did she just say? I did. That's why I said I blamed myself the whole way. The whole way I blame myself. So for the first part. So yeah, so mind you, I'm downstairs. He is still speeding past my questions. Apparently this man's not going to take me home, or he's not trying to hear that we're not doing the thing. I didn't know anything about Netflix and chill. I didn't know anything about that. Like I said, I was raised a church girl. When I say I was so blind to the dating world, it's sad. Like, my dating life, my first 2 relationships were safe. I didn't have it. This man introduced me to some things. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. But either way, yeah, so in this moment, he says, oh, I found it. It was like the Zeitgeist movie. I'm like, I know that's not what he was looking for. So I'm like, what were you looking for? Early, but he started talking again, right? So I'm like, So I went and I figured, okay, so he's gonna put this video on. And he said, we're just gonna watch like 20 minutes of it. We got time. I know. Y'all like, wow, you were a fool like that. Yeah, Shani was a fool, baby. Fool. Yeah, so I was like, oh, all right, well, 20 minutes, that ain't that long. So I was sitting like on the edge of the seat at first. Just like, 20 minutes, that's not long. Like, is that how long the movie is? Man, he put that thing on. Do you know how long Zeitgeist is? Anybody look up Zeitgeist. I think it's Z-E-I-G. Hold on, let me see something. I'm trying to see something. Hold on. Oh, damn, I can't even get a hold of it. Nope, I can't even get a hold of it. Zeitgeist movie. I know you're like, nope, she tripping. I picked tonight to do it. I know I'm tripping. Okay, yep, I got it. I got it. All right, I'm trying not to mess up my whole setup here, y'all. For real. My bad. My bad, my bad, my bad. Did I do it? Yeah. She did. She did. Alright, so the Zeitgeist movie, it is every bit of 2 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I looked it up at one point while I was remembering my story, or, you know, remembering the happenings of the story. Alright, so it's Zeitgeist. Oh, it's still not giving me the... Okay, never mind. So it's Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. So he put that movie on. I think it was every bit of like an hour to 2 hours long. Tell me how... If nobody believes in the spiritual world, I can't tell you nothing else. You know, I don't know what to say to you. But I do not know how I went from sitting on the edge of... at this point, he had a futon. On the edge of this futon, to literally, I don't know, did I sit back? I had to sit back at some point. We were not too close to one another. Excuse me. Yes? Good night. Good night, baby. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Excuse me. So yeah, we went from he was sitting like about a seat away. Like, you know what I mean? It was big enough, a large enough space for another person to have sat there, if that makes sense. So, whenever I sat back, somehow, I don't know when I fell asleep, but I fell asleep. This movie, all I remember seeing was like money symbols, money signs, some stuff. I felt like I was like in y'all can call me crazy, it's okay. I felt hypnotized or something. Like I went into a deep sleep. Or did I not know I was that damn tired? Something happened. I ain't even get into the whole spiritual portion of things. Like, I'm not even trying to scare y'all on here. I'm not going to do it. But just know this is a spiritual world. You know, don't forget that part. But we're going to leave it alone. Just know I fell asleep somehow. And when I awoke, I had a headache. The movie was off. I had a headache. And time had flown. I don't know what happened. From the time that he picked this child up, that was about 4-ish, to the time we were talking, that must have been like a good 20, maybe 20 minutes, maybe, right? To the time that I actually decided to go down there and watch this movie, it was supposed to be for 20 minutes. None of it really adds up as to how I fell asleep. I keep thinking, did I fall asleep for 2 whole hours? There's no way. I sat up. I was sitting up. It's not like I laid down. It's not like I literally woke up in the same position that I fell asleep in. I still can't figure out that part of the mystery. I have not been able to figure that out. I don't know. You know? But I just remember looking at some money signs, some symbols, some little things on Zeitgeist. Just watch it. I think I said it right. I think I spelled it right. Zeitgeist. And so Zeitgeist movie. Yeah. So, anyways, I woke up. I had a headache. This man looks at me and he says, if you have a headache, you can squeeze your head, something like that. It was funny. It was funny, but he started doing it for me. And so it was like, you know, how did he know I had a headache? Was like the main question here, right? So this is where things started getting a little woo, you know what I mean? Like, woo. Y'all can't tell me the spiritual world does not exist. So yeah, so this dude knew I had a headache. Okay, interesting. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to do it myself. So I'm like, oh, like this? Okay, thanks. Okay. Cool. So I'm getting up and grabbing my stuff. I'm trying to get myself together. Good thing I had no real, like, I think I fell asleep with my purse near me. I fell asleep with my purse, like, right near me. And, like, I put myself in a vulnerable position, man. Like, super vulnerable. At this point, I was mad at myself. And I'm just like, I fell asleep, too? Not only did you play yourself as a damn fool, but you put yourself in a sleeping position too? Like, where did you fall? When did you fall asleep? I don't know, but I fell asleep. I woke back up, had a headache. He told me what I could do with that headache. And before I knew it, him getting so close to me, he began to like, I'm trying to take over my own, like, oh, okay, that's how you do it, okay, cool. And like, he you know, he's still reaching, you know, to do it. And then he kisses me as if we had a moment. And I'm like, what the? So I didn't kiss him back. He literally, like, planted kisses, not one, but kisses on my lips, and I am literally not kissing this man back. And yet it's like he's going to force a moment. Like, this is a moment. You need to wake up and see it. Like, what is wrong with you? Sir, I didn't feel the moment. We didn't have a moment. We didn't even go out like you said we were going to do. Like, what? Like, what is this? But at this point, I'm realizing, Shani, you messed up, baby. You messed up, right? Oh, I messed up. I missed the detail. So when he passed me this business card, it was the same business card. See, it's hard to put it all together, right? I'm just going to give you this little piece of information because I got to go back to what my family did also. This ties all in. That's why the story is going to be pretty long. I don't know. I may have to cut this off, try again the next day, all that good stuff. But I just feel like no one asked me my side of the story, and it's time for me to tell it. I've given it so much time. And, you know, and I think it's about that time. Anyway, so this little piece of information, when he gave me the business card, I recognized this business card. I saw this business card before. And what it went back to is, like I said, I was living in Norristown a couple of times. My sister did me dirty a couple of times. So my first job in Norristown was a year before I met my children's father. A year before. So I decided, So he came to the job. And when he did that, he was even in weird hypnotist energy. I was taking care of customers. I was doing everything I needed to do. And this guy comes up and he gives me his business card and he says, I own my own business. I own my own business. I own my own business. And I'm like, oh, that's nice, sir. Thank you. Thank you for telling. What did I say? Oh, that's nice, sir. That sounds great. Yeah, that sounds like something I would have said. That sounds great. And I kept going because I'm literally, at this point, they had me overworked at that business, at that job. Well, like any job, you know. So I was basically waiting the front, dropping food in the back, trying to clean up at the same time for the general managers, you know, just managing everything accordingly, you know. And I don't, was I even a manager in training at that time? I think I became the manager in training after a while. But in that moment, this is what he did. And I'm not, listen, I call him beloved, but God knows in heaven, okay? I'm not lying. This man, it was like he was in a zone. He said, he stared at me and he said, I own my own business. I own my own business. I own my own business. And I'm like, that, you know, I was used to like homeless people. I was used to people like, you know, coming in here that were, you know, a little mentally unstable, right? I was used to that. I've been homeless. I've been in shelters. And I've seen, you know, people that were on drugs, people that were, you know, mentally unstable, people. But this right here was a little creepy. And it's crazy because when I remember seeing that business card, I didn't remember that part of what took place, right? How creeped out I felt. And it should be on camera. Well, that place is knocked down now. But he did it like standing in front of the cashier, like, well, on the side. And I don't know if anybody caught that on camera or not. I don't know. But anyways, that was weird in itself. So here I am in his space and and I'm like, does this dude, now I'm thinking of it, this is years later, right? Like, is this dude into some things? Like, for me to wake up and you to say, do I have a headache? No, he didn't even ask me. He said, if you have a headache, you could squeeze your head. Squeeze my head? Who? Who knows this? Anybody know? I don't know. I didn't know. He was sharing information with me I didn't know, right? And I was like, how does he know I had a headache? Leave it alone. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to keep going. So, fast forward back to the story. I just wanted to give you a little piece right there because something was not, it's like he was under a trance, you know? And I'm going to help you. This is the reason why I shared this information. I'm going to help you to understand that there's something deeper going on. There's something deeper going on. And it took me some time to really, really remove the religious covering from my sister, right? She all of a sudden just became this religious person. And you know, she's so holy, she's so holier than thou, she's so righteous, you know, and self-righteous, and telling people that she could judge them righteously. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a real good segment of my sister after a while. But something was up with that situation. Let's leave that there. I'm not done yet. So, and this is why this information could lead to me really getting retaliated against, because this is some very sensitive information. So either way, I got up, right? So I had my purse near me, everything was intact, boom, cool. I'm like, you know, he kissed me, right? That's where I left off at. So he kissed me, like we had a moment. I'm like, you know, I got up. That's when I got up, because I'm like, this dude is really, like, he's willing to force a moment. He wasn't done. Oh, hell no, he wasn't done. So I got up, mind you, being respectable, being a lady, just being me, right? I says, I think it's time for me to go. Yeah, I didn't say anything about the movie. I didn't say, I was weirded out at this point, right? And I'm the spiritualist, right? I'm supposed to be the one that's the weird one here. But you'll understand also how I discovered spirituality. Yeah, hopefully you all could understand from my perspective what's really been going on. Anyways, so we have all right, let me get the goofiness out of here. So anyways, I go and I stand up, right? I'm grabbing my things. I'm like, I think I should go. No, did I say, I think I should go. I think it's time for me to go. And this dude, I'm trying to remember, from the sofa to, it was a futon. So from the sofa to, I was walking near the stairs. And okay, so I would have had to come out this way. Yeah, so his TV was here, his sofa was here. I forgot what was back there. Table, there was table, rug. Okay, yeah, so I would have come from this side. So getting off the sofa, boom, I would have walked this way. So I walked this way, and did he say no baby, or I'm trying to remember, like, what happened in between. I know I stood up. I'm like, I think I should go. And I was, I'm thinking, like, you drove me here. Like, I was hoping that he would be a gentleman and say, okay, it's time to go. I am doing a lot. But he met me, like, on a side here. And he didn't have it down as a pet, so how? I'm trying to remember something. Hold on. Because if the sofa was here, what did I sit on? What did I? I don't know. I'm trying to remember, y'all. I really am. So anyways, I just remember him, he had a heart on, and he was taking off his, he began to take off his shirt. Well, no, I'm sorry. He moved towards me, and I'm like, I think I should go. And he's like, he's taking off his shirt at this point. I mean, it was a quick takeoff, so it was like, this dude's serious. Like, he's really serious right now. So he's still, coming towards me, still trying to kiss me. Mind you, I never kissed him back. We didn't have a moment. So I'm thinking, don't you know, if I don't kiss you back, then what is this? Right? Like, why would you keep trying? But he was hard. He had his, you know what I mean? Like, he was, and he, kept coming towards me, kissing me, and, had his shirt off at this point. And, I remember saying to him, no, I'm good. Like, no, I didn't say I'm good. That's not how I talk. I said, no, I'm all right. I think it's time for me to go. And I remember him looking at me, and I remember these words, clear as day, scared the hell out of me. He said, Y'all women are crazy. No means yes. All I needed to hear. All I needed to hear, I knew what this was. I said, oh my God, I jacked up. I messed up. But this was... Ask one question. Did my sister ever call me back? Let's talk about that, right? We're going to talk about that. When I connect this story, right, it should make sense to us. What was going on here. Okay? So, man. So anyways, when he said that, I said, whoa, this is really, this is what this is. So I smiled at him. Scared as hell. I said, I just need to go upstairs and freshen up. And he let me go. I thought he was going, I wasn't sure how he was going to react to me. But he let me go. He said, okay. And I went upstairs and I started looking around. Because I remember, I never paid attention to where I was going. Dummy. Like, I had some landmarks, but he's tucked away. I didn't know where the heck I was going. I didn't know where I was at. And let's put the icing on the cake. I had a little track phone. Go ahead, clown me. It's okay. I laughed at my damn self. Okay, that was funny to me too. So I had I had a track phone back then that I did not it basically, the location on it, you couldn't just, it wasn't like a smartphone. You know, you can easily pick up a location. But not on this phone, honey. This phone was struggle, baby. Struggle. And so, mind you, I was supposed to have been getting myself started in life. You know, I would have probably upgraded at some point in life. But here it was. I had me a little track phone. And it wasn't that small, right? It might have been. Damn, I think it was like this small. Maybe. Like, I don't know. Anyways. So yeah, I went upstairs and I'm like, I have no idea where I'm at, right? With this track phone, I think I had to pay like another bill just to be able to get to, minutes. It was like minutes or something like that back then. So, I think I ran out of internet minutes or something like that. So no way to track location, no way to, so I started looking around, right? Mind you, I laugh just to keep the moment light. That's just me. I don't really, I'm a very emotional person. But I try not to, you know, throw my emotions on the next person, if that makes sense. Yeah, so doesn't mean that it's not a serious matter. It's just me being myself. And so anyways, I'm scared. Right, so I'm looking around, I'm like tiptoeing, like, oh, can you hear me, like walking around? And so I go to the living room, I looks out the window, and I just remember seeing nothing but, was it trees? And I do remember coming up, there was a Schuylkill River that kind of followed the trail a little bit, but not leading directly to his place, but it was like one of the landmarks. Anybody know anything about the Schuylkill River? I think it's Schuylkill. Listen, I pronounce it as I read it, okay? And it was the Schuylkill River. And so yeah, I just remember thinking of that. Other landmarks. I'm like, where am I at? Like, where am I at? It was the Conshohocken area. That's what it was. So it was like Valley Forge, Conshohocken-ish, I think. either way, like I said, I was not well traveled in Norristown. I really wasn't. So I definitely wasn't traveled on the outskirts of Norristown. Yeah. So I was lost. I was looking out the window and realizing that I did not know where I was at, and thought of that river and how if this night goes wrong, I could end up in that river. That's all I remember thinking, that clear as day. I said, if this night goes wrong, I can end up in that river. And so I remember going to the bathroom, like I said I was going to do in the first place. And I remember looking in the mirror, just being myself, my silly self. And I remember this clear as day. I said, we're going to do this? Because I kept thinking, like, ain't no way he's not going to take me home. He made that clear. Like, he's not taking me home. At this point, it was dark. Like I keep saying, I could not have fallen asleep for a whole damn hour or two. What happened to time? Like, what happened to the, and when I looked at my time, it must have been like 7. It's like 7. I remember he said the place closed at 7. So now, if I even approached him about it, it would have been my fault anyway, right? You fell asleep. Nobody told you to go to sleep. So, yeah, dumb moments, silly moments, naive moments. Yeah, that was me. So I remember, like I said, looking in that mirror, and I said, we're not getting out of this one tonight. You know that, right? Anybody else talk to themselves? Because I do. I don't know about anybody else. I do. Like I said, I crack jokes on myself and everything. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I think we about to do this. Listen, we're doing this. Actually, no, it didn't go like that. It was like I said, I was silly. So I was like, so he ain't gonna take you home, right? Yeah, here you go. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Yep, we're gonna do this. And I went downstairs and I did that. That's what happened. And so that was our first night together. I was very afraid. I did not want this night to go to a point where I might go missing, so I gave him what he wanted. I did. And somewhere in the middle of the night, I found myself lying on his chest. That's why I said I laugh at my damn self. Like, girl, how you get that comfortable? What had happened? It had happened, yeah. And somewhere in the middle of the night, I found myself lying on his chest. And the next morning, he was just coming back in when I was getting up. And he never said anything about me leaving I didn't say anything about leaving. Literally, it went from, I kept telling myself that it's just going to be a one-night stand. He'll take me home. Like, he'll take me home the next day. Everything will be good. Or I'll just leave, right? Man, listen, we got so darn comfortable. I was there. My sister didn't call me back now one time. I was there for about a week. I'm not going to lie. I was there for about a week, okay? Just there. Just there. And so I was like, wow, like, dang, Shawnee, you was scared for what? Right? This man, I was still upset with how he did things. Big time. Like, big time. And I was never the type, and this is why females ask for money up front, right? You want to take me out on a date? Give me that moolah. This is why, I believe. Stories like this. Now, if I would have asked for money up front, I wouldn't have felt like I lost, right? If I was the type of female, I was never the type of gold-digging female. I was never her. Money's important to me. Don't get me wrong. I like nice things. However, I was never the type of female that was always in a man's pockets. You know, I was more so that female that was trying to figure out, how can I motivate you? You motivate me. You know what I mean? You already had your own business, fine. It's beautiful. How can I be a part of that to help you to enhance that business? That was my mindset. No, I never thought, how can I meet you halfway with the funds? That was never my thing. My first and my second boyfriend, they took care of me financially. I didn't have to worry about that. And even my children's father, when I finally was ready to leave at the end of this week that we were together, I was telling myself, like, each day, like, you know, I am wearing out my welcome. I should leave. This is all in my head, right? Just fighting with myself still. And eventually I said to him, I think, you know, I should go ahead and I should leave. No. I said I wanted to go to the mall, right? Mind you, if I was a gold digger, I would have been like, where that moolah at, so I can go to the mall. That was not my mindset, right? But I gotta tell you how. All right, I'm gonna keep on going with the story. I'm gonna keep on going with the story. So I told him I needed to go to the mall. Remember, the first point was to look for a job so I could help my sister and my nieces, right? Even though she played the heck out of me, I still felt obligated to her. And so, especially since I gave up all of this new beginning of mine, why was I just going to give it up and not, you know, allow myself to help or do what I said I was going to do in the first place, right? And so I found myself so I found myself you know, saying, you know, I wanted to go to the mall to look for a job. He said, baby, don't leave, please stay. And that in itself was awesome, the fact that he was able to show that vulnerability. Yet, hun, you didn't do this right in the beginning. You deceived me. So for me to stay, I was really conflicted, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I was really conflicted. I didn't feel like he had rights to ask me to stay at this point. I was really upset. But once again, I'm not the female to just lash out on a man. I'm the type of female, I'll pull you to the side to say my piece, but I'm not doing it when I'm angry. You know, and that's probably where I'm looked at as somebody that's easily stepped on or to be stepped all over, because I'm calmer in chaotic situations. Once again, I don't know why, but that's always been me. Excuse me. Well, I might know why, but anyways. So either way, he says, he asked me to stay a couple of times. And I was just like, but I have family obligations, you know? And I guess that's why I messed up at. Because once again, here were new beginnings that I was, trading for this conniving sister of mine, right? So there was a conflict right there. So he goes and drops me off at the mall. Here's where I felt played. He said, call me when you're ready to get picked up, or when you're ready to, ready for me to come get you. That's what he said. He gave me some money. I didn't ask him for anything. The same thing with my first and my second boyfriends. I was never the type of female to go in a man's pockets. Now today, just for safety purposes, yes, Yes, I have to make sure that you are going to honor, you know what I mean, your promises, that you're going to. So it's a different story today. And from that point forward, yes, there's a different story. Yet back then I wasn't her. He gave me money, whatever he chose to give me, it was what he gave me. And he told me, baby, call me when you're done. Wait, what did he say? Call me when you're ready for me to come get you. Right? So I called him that day after being done with the mall, blankety blank. And I think I just grabbed something from the food court, a couple of items, and I ended up getting my applications in. So I had a productive day. And when I called him, he didn't answer. I text him, right? Oh my goodness, my day has been well, da da da. I called you. Call me back. You know, something like that. Something simple. Whole night was gone. Didn't call me back, right? I used the last little bit of cash that I had. Got me a cab and kept moving. But I wasn't going to just let him get away with that. I was mad, okay? I was angry, okay? And I gave myself some cool down time. And I didn't call him back. Did I call him back? But I did text him a paragraph. I do remember doing that. That's how I text. Y'all don't want to text with me. I text stories and, chapter books and section it off with bullet points, and you don't want none. You don't want none. So I did text him a paragraph. I was really upset with him. And I'm like, you left me at the mall? After you just asked me to stay? After you just, like, I was going to go in on him about the beginning of what happened, right? But it was just too much texting. So I was like, I'm going to talk to him. Like, I need to talk to him. So at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I sent that text. I kept it moving. A couple days later, he did call and apologize. What, did he even apologize? No, he showed his apology. He gave me some money, and he did he give me a gift? I felt like he was showing his apology, but it still wasn't good, because I'm like, yo, you didn't even do the first thing right. Like, you and then you're asking me to stay. I was really disappointed, like super disappointed. So it's just like, I don't know how to feel. And he kept that up. Like, he kept asking me to stay. It's not like, he just stopped all of a sudden. No, he was definitely making it known he wanted me to stay. And yet I kept telling him I have family obligations. I didn't tell him no. I just, I wanted to really, once again, have that conversation. So, one, I decided to continue seeing him, right? I decided to continue seeing him because, once again, I was having that battle with self. Oh, should I approach him about it, or should I not? And I was like, I'm going to definitely approach him about it. I'm just not going to do it like right now. Like, we're going to do it a different way, right? Like, we're going to do it over dinner. I'm going to show him how I like to be treated, right? And so that was the conversation in my head. Like, I'm going to show him how I want to be treated. And so I went into like I said, dating him. So I definitely, we were seeing one another for about a good, let me say 3 months, somewhere around. About 2 months. Oh, no, three. No. It's like July, August, September, October. I think about 3 months. About a good 3 months. Everything went smooth. You know, it's like from that point forward, he was really trying to show me. And it's sad because like every time I thought to say something about what it is that I wanted to say from like the beginning, I kept thinking maybe I should just leave it alone. You know, like, why am I even bothered by this? Like, this dude is really showing up and showing out. Anytime I call this dude, he comes. I did not have to call twice. He came anytime. Even I called him one time randomly, like out of nowhere, while he was at work. And you could hear how, you know, he was a little bothered, but he still came. So I was like, should I even be bothered with what took place? Like, you know, but then I'm like, if we were to have an argument or something, you know, we would have a disagreement, he could possibly bring up that he never really did anything to get my attention. And for sure, he did that. So I left that opening. Now, how it was supposed to go in my head, right? In my mind, and actually not even in my mind only. Well, yeah, in my mind. So I planned to have dinner we planned to have dinner that night, right? Now this time, I chose to, I wanted to get the groceries, and I wanted to, because this man don't stay with a lot of groceries in his house. So I was like, I'll get the groceries, you know, and, you know, maybe I can cook you a dinner, you know, tonight, and so forth and so on. Once again, it was all about showing him what it is that, or how I wanted to be treated. That was the whole plan, right? And so, I know it's 1:09 a.m. Thank y'all for really toughing it out with me. I'm probably going to have to really cut this off, like I said. Or maybe I'll keep going. I don't know. But yeah, so I wanted to show him how I wanted to be treated, like I said. Right? And I began to dang, I done got lost. So yeah, the dinner, right? That dinner was something that I was aiming for that night, to be able to talk to him and put it all out on the table. All the things that really made me a little disappointed and made me feel like I wasn't safe, and you know, that was the plan, right? And so he dropped me off that night to my sister's place. So I know you're like, when did you go back to your sister's place? I went back to my sister's place that night from the mall. So I did end up going back to my sister's place. I told her I will always share everything with her, and that's where I messed up. I would share everything with her. So I shared what took place that day and how I met, you know, a nice guy, and he did this, blah, 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 blah. But some things were a little off, right? And so I shared everything, every little detail, the same way I tell stories now, where I'm telling every little detail. I told it, you know, back then, you know, and I was just like, maybe I should pay attention to time, because if it's been an hour, share the broadcast. Yeah, I didn't even track my time. This is like, I don't know how to track it, but So either way, he had dropped me off. Fast forward, right? So like I said, we were dating for like 3 months at this point, and I still had not put on the table what it is that I felt. I felt like he really was making up for it, but I still needed to address it, and you know, just for future purposes, just so you don't think that this is good. Like we're good right here. You know, you got to turn it up a couple notches. But I never got to that point, because the day he dropped me off and we had plans to go to this dinner, to do this dinner, she, my sister, she waited till I got in the house. So he pulled off, right? We kissed one another, and you know, he gave me some money, and he pulled off, right? Or he waited till I got in the house, and then he pulled off. Total gentleman. I mean, total gentleman. I would have, you know what I mean? That's why I said that one little mess up. I'm like, dang, let's just hurry up and throw that on the table real quick. Let me say some things to you, and then, you know, hopefully everything should be good, you know, because maybe you're used to doing this to other females and they love it. I don't love it. I didn't like it. And so yeah, that was the plan, to speak about it. But yeah. As soon as I walked in the house, I'm really trying to get used to this body, I swear I am. Anyways, yeah, so they, damn, why I keep saying they? So I walked in the door, and my sister, she went off. By now you understand, she rolled off. So she's like, no, oh no, you can't, no, she said, I saw that car before. I know that car. I saw that car before. In a dream, I saw that car. It's like, that's how she's going off, right? And she's like, no, this is wicked. This is, what'd she say? I'm a sinner. I can't be in her house. I'm showing my nieces that it's okay to fornicate, and you know, and stuff like that. And I really felt bad. Her argument was very strong and very much respected with me. Like, I really felt some type of way, like, man, I probably should have never started this this relationship. I didn't even see it beginning. I didn't even plan the relationship. But it was here now, you know, and this is what it was. So for I think I'm gonna stop this one and probably start up another one, y'all. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Cause I feel like this is about an hour long, and I don't like watching hour-long videos. I'm not a fan, okay? I have to chop this up a little bit. So I'm gonna get off of here, and I'm going to do part 2. For all of you that did try to hang out, like I said, thank you so much for the support. And I hope that this is enlightened. And you want to speak, Shani? You want to speak a little bit? I hope this is an enlightenment to someone out there. Like I said, a lot of people that go through what I have gone through, and I haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes of what happened. It's about to come with this next part of the story. Okay, so get ready for part 2. Yeah. Bye for now.